Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's part 24 today, and we're back for a final episode before real life Christmas. So if you are celebrating the festive season, I hope you do have a good one. I hope you're still enjoying this series, and I hope you'll come back on Boxing Day for a very special game. But today, we've got a couple of pretty special ones, and some pretty special opportunities. We've got the chance against Hibernian and against Dundee United, our rivals, to wrap up remarkably some form of European qualification. And then on Boxing Day, if we wanted a big football match, we've got the champion Celtic in the Scottish Cup final. How on earth, from starting this season, leaving Brechin for Arbroath, having 13 players in Scottish League One, we have got to this position, I don't know. But if you're looking forward to it, two big games including the derby away, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from two long-term stories, something different coming on Christmas Day, and plenty of other festive stuff around the channel as well. So please do have a little look out for that, and thank you so much for your ongoing support. But it is pretty remarkable. A few of you have made some clever comments on this actually, some really intelligent ones, talking about the fact that all of our jobs are in a very close geographical proximity, which is something we hadn't thought about. And maybe that's one of the areas that's becoming really realistic in FM21. We are being given a chance by bigger clubs in the local area. As people have said, we wouldn't have had to move house, we wouldn't have had to really take any trips, we'd have an easy ride into training in the morning. Everything's pretty good. And now we've got the real chance to take this to the next level, to start grabbing European attention. We've talked about liking to go abroad this year, and if we can get into Europe and get some big offers in, who knows? And with the Europa Conference in game, it might well happen this year. So we've got Hibs, who are in 4th place, second up today. They are on level on points with us, but with a far superior goal difference. And we've got 6th place Dundee United away from home. Now they can't actually finish above us now. We are guaranteed 5th. And what it does say here, if we go and have a look at the rules, it says that 5th wraps up the Europa Conference second qualifying round place, dependent on the winner of the Scottish Cup. Now my argument is, we're in the Scottish Cup final against Celtic, who have won the league. So surely we've already wrapped it up. That's the bit I don't really understand. Of course, a big derby would be the perfect way to make sure. And Hibs is the tough one, because ironically, it's probably the more important of the two. They're 5 days apart, but with us level on points with them and then playing Celtic today, it looks like that's going to be the decider. But let's crack straight into the first game. Let me very quickly show you the results, because it did threaten to go wrong briefly. You were with me last time, of course, just before the split, as we played Hearts and lost 2-0 away, and of course beats the Ross County in the Scottish Cup semi-final. Since then, we got the expected defeat at Celtic, a pretty scrappy draw away at Kilmarnock, and then the biggest result, the one that's given us the chance at 4th, was Scott Pittman's late screamer against Rangers. A game where I don't think we've ever been more outplayed, and we somehow managed to sneak it. It's a brilliant strike from him, and we'll count our blessings and move on. So this is the 11 that we've got. The only question mark I've got is whether we replace Irving with Byrne, who's got a bit more bite in the middle. He's got a better morale, and I think he's probably the right man for it. So we're going to go for Sean Byrne. Aside from that though, I think it's our first 11. So Aaron Chapman in goal, McGee and Marshall the fullbacks with Akinola and a Doffin at centre half, Goran, Pittman and Byrne the midfield three as we've decided, with McPake and Chalmers on the wings behind Carlton, Morris up top. He's in a bit of poor form now, Morris, after a really good spell, but we have got McGrath there if we need it. And what a way this would be to celebrate Christmas. We get into Europe with Dundee in just our 3rd season of the head coach, and to have a cup final to look forward to on Boxing Day. What more could you ask for? So let's go and hope we don't get embarrassed, because losing to the rivals could put a little bit of a dampener on it. Let me know how you think we'll get on in the comments below, and we'll see how we do. We've got our youth intake to look at as well. That's something we'll do later on in the episode. And we are back for a Dundee United lineup that includes Lawrence Shankland, who we know well from the stream series. Will Ferry, we mentioned before, we know him. Liam Smith still there at right back. Segrist is the backup keeper. Yandro Fuchs is on the bench, and they're all star players in my stream series, so I'd be very surprised if they haven't improved massively. They're a top 6 side. We're going to tell the lads to give the fans their money's worth, get them pumped up for the derby, and most of them are motivated. So into the first half we go. It's derby day, the press are playing on it, and it is packed out here at Tannadice. And here we are defensively as Akinola's got a short free kick to Goran, inside to Chalmers on the left wing, cuts inside to Carlton Morris on a goal drought, but into the box there. Oh, just drags his shot wide. That was a really good chance. And look what's happened at the top. Barkas has scored an own goal for Celtic and Hibs have got the lead. We could be dropping down after all. But I think 5th wraps us up Europe. I'm just not sure of how certain and set in stone it is. We had a warning to mark someone there, so I just pressed do it and it didn't happen. It took us to the tactics screen and Shankland forced a good save from Chapman. It's been a strange first 15 minutes. Both sides having a couple of okay chances. As Ferry's corner's headed away, Adoffin finds Morris. Holds it up well on the left-hand side. He's got men up with him, but Liam Smith makes a good tackle. We already know he's got the quality. And it stays 0-0, 20 minutes on the clock, as Adoffin's got a free kick on halfway. 1-2 with Goran, up towards Morris, and headed away as far as Finn Malcolm. Back to McKinnon. Up to Shankland again. Absolute superstar. Lovely through ball that is. Finds Malcolm and it's 1-0 Dundee United. And that is exactly what Lawrence Shankland has been doing in our stream series all year. Through balls for Mark McNulty as it is there. And he's been putting them in the back of the net. And unfortunately on this occasion it's come back to haunt us. And look at those stats. They're horrible. Certainly from a Dundee reading. We're going to berate the lads. I don't know what more we can do. We can try and go positive. But I'm not sure it's going to lead to a better outcome. It's up the possession slightly, but we've had no shots on target, just one attempt in itself. Though I guess we've stemmed the tide, no more for United, as Adoffin clears it long as far as Liam Smith. He picks it up on the right to McKinnon, over halfway to Glass, and they're just happy to keep it there for now. Into Clark on the centre circle, out wide to Glass, to Liam Smith, overlapping again, something we're familiar with yet again from the stream series. Back to Glass and McKinnon. It's nice football from Dundee United. They're very patient on it. And Shankland dropping in again there. Back to Malcolm and Clark. Into Giarbi. To Shankland. Oh, it's a great strike. Just wide of the post. And I tell you what, Chapman was scrambling a bit there. Celtic have equalised at Hibs, but we trail at half-time. And it is a really poor display. We've saved it for a pretty poor moment. So I'm going to point the finger. I know a few of them are anxious and frustrated. I'm going to say show me something else. Get them motivated. Get them fired up. Let's see if we get a reaction. Into the second half we go. Well, we have managed one shot on target, but we're back with 23 to go, about a quarter left. And it's still Dundee United over the top as McGee heads away. We've proven this a lot this season though. We've stayed in games and nicked a lot of points. As Pittman comes over halfway, he's got a man on the right, goes over to Morris instead. McCann chases back and they just about deal with it. Bit of a strange one to see that. I thought Morris was going to nick in for a moment. As Shankland loses out to Adoffin, who has been sensational all year. And don't forget, we've got those two boys coming in the summer. George Cooper and, of course, Clark Robertson as well. As Shankland flicks on a long clearance to McGee. It's been a very long highlight and not really anything worth seeing. Eventually, Morris flicks on. It goes straight through to McLennan, the keeper. I'm not sure why we're seeing this. Giarbi flicks on. Maybe this is why. Shankland's in from the goal kick. He's going to score. Of course he does. 2-0 Dundee United. And why we saw the first half a minute of that, I do not know. But what's probably alarming me the most is the fact that this has been the worst defensive performance we've put in ages. We've got our first 11 out, so I don't know how we react. Gorin's had a poor game in the holding role. Byrne will drop in there, Irving on in midfield. McPake's had a poor game on the right and he's anxious. So we're going to replace him with Alan Forrest. And then up front, Colton Morris on a goal drought, replaced by McGrath. As Chalmers can't get to a long ball down the left, it's overhit out for a throw. And it's been a very bad day at the office. Dundee United dominant and deservedly 2-0 up as it's long down the left-hand side towards Forrest who intercepts. Finds Pittman and Irving. Out to Chalmers. Can we get the late comeback? It's into McGrath. And there's one of them. Still 18 minutes to go. We have not deserved that whatsoever. But a great substitution up front. A good one in centre mid. And we've got a chance. Though Giarbi's in at the other end. Just heads it wide into the side netting. Probably should have scored. With 15 to go, we just need one more chance and we could nick the unlikeliest of points. And it would really be a blow for the hosts here. If they don't win this game, we're going to go attacking because there's only 5 left. They definitely deserve to win it and I think they're going to. Into stoppage time, 4 minutes to be added on and it finishes Dundee United 2, Dundee 1. We lose the derby. I hope the fans will forgive us because it's been a fantastic season so far. We've got the game against Hibs to wrap up either third or second qualifying of European football. Considering we were expected to avoid relegation, not a bad achievement. And then on Boxing Day, it's the Scottish Cup final against Celtic. We could not ask for much more. But for that one, I think the performance was alarming. So there's the confirmation. Dundee United still can't catch us. Hibs did nick a point against Celtic, so we'll have to beat them now if we want to finish 4th. But otherwise, we'll be back on Sunday for that one, for the final day of the Scottish Premiership season. Well, they're teasing me already here. I drew a European side in a cup draw, and I thought, oh, we've got qualification, and it was a friendly cup. So they really are teasing us with that. For today's game, we've got Regan Thompson back, we've got McPake fit. We should be alright. Basically, it's win or bust. We finish 5th if we lose or draw. We finish 4th if we win it. It's as simple as that. So let's go and have a look at the lineup for today. I am going to make one change. I'm going to put Carlton Morris out on the left as an inside forward. Something I've been thinking about for a while to take the pressure off him for the goals. Of course, McGrath came off the bench and played really well in the week. I'll drop Roberts out because he's not got back to fitness very quickly. And Jakubiak on the bench as a sub-striker. And again, I think in midfield, possibly it's going to be Byrne taken out. Let's have a look. 6.5. I'm going to replace him. Andy Irving in. We're on the front foot at home. Let's try and get the goals. And this is the lineup we've gone for. So McGrath has come in for Chalmers. He's up front with Carlton Morris on the left. And a straight swap between Byrne and Irving in centre midfield. It's our best possible 11 for this game. It's the strongest I think we can be. So let's get into it. It's Dundee v Hibs. The winner takes 4th. The loser takes 5th. Here is the lineup then. A few familiar names. Porteous, of course, known in real life. As Sutar as well at centre-half. Formerly a wonder kid on this game. Stevie Milan. Jordan Jones from Rangers. Ernos Tuma. Did he play for Peterborough at some point maybe? And Jason Cummings had a loan spell at Luton a few years back. Some youngsters on the bench. The likes of Yannick Toure was at Newcastle. Hayden Coulson, I remember that name as well. There's some real quality in this Hibs squad. Daniel Stendhal in charge. Wow. I did not see that coming. The former Hearts manager. And Daniel Stendhal's in charge of Hibs. That is pretty incredible. So let's get into the first half. Dundee v Hibs. And here come the visitors already. As Rodriguez hoofs it downfield. It's a brilliant clearance. And McGrath will chase it. But it looks like Cumming, the keeper, will get there first. And he picks it up in his own box. A bit of a strange start that. I don't know why we saw it. As it's a long goal kick downfield. Akinola heads away. Falls for Milan. Back inside though. And Hibs are getting it forward. They're trying to find the wingers very early. That's a noticeable tactic straight away. We've won it back though. And we're coming down the left with makeshift winger Carlton Morris. Back to Rodriguez. To Pittman. To McGrath. To Pittman again. Lovely through ball. McGrath's there. And I think he's offside. The flag is up. A brilliant run but just too early. And it's disallowed. But a good start. And a good opportunity to take the lead. And we're 10 minutes on the clock. We're back with a free kick deep inside our own half. The right back McGee plays a 1-2 with Goran. Gets it into Pittman. This ball's through towards McGrath again. And it's just overhit again. It's a bit of a tough start because that final pass isn't quite right. Or the run for the final pass, whichever is more applicable. As Akinola clears it long downfield. Porteous intercepts. And they're just playing out from the back here, Hibs. Now they do get it wide. What they've been trying to do all day. Out to Saber on the left. Back into midfield again. Into Jason Cummings. Back to Oztuma. And that one's disallowed. I'm not quite sure why. I couldn't see a reason for it. He's given offside. I couldn't really see why. But either way, we'll take it. 15 gone. It remains 0-0. And only one shot on target so far. Not the best game. And here come Hibs again. 25 on the clock. I can see our assistant is trying to tell them there's no pressure. I wonder if that'll work tactically. As Doig gets it up to midfield. To Saba. To Doig again. On the left wing, just bringing it forward comfortably. Oh, Jones has nabbed it. He's beaten a defender to it, and what a save. Chapman's left foot to the rescue, I think it was. Out for a corner kick. Fantastic goalkeeping. Unorthodox, but it worked. And Saba's corner's in as well. Headed over by Sutar. And we still survive. It could go either way, this. Looks very close. I'm not sure we're going to get the win. As here we are with 10 minutes to the break. John Sutar playing out from the back to Milan. Over the left-hand side to Saba. He's got a chance to cross, loads up with him, but goes all the way back into midfield. It's very strange. 1-2 with Milan. And they're keeping it again, but no real intensity. Out to the right back now, though. Jordan Jones overlapping into the box. Back to Cummings. And it's 1-0 to Hibs. I mean, Jordan Jones has just been too good out there. We know that they've got a poacher in the box, and they've scored an easy goal. Hibs lead 1-0. We're in trouble. And again, we're being outplayed. And this isn't something that's happened much in the last few months. Are we coming into bad form just at the wrong time? Or is Pittman going to rescue it here? Oh, corner's in! And Morris hits the crossbar. What a way that would have been to finish the half. Dundee United lead at Rangers as well. It's been a strange game. And at half time, it remains 1-0 Hibs. We're going to go positive. We're going to say we expect much better because it's been another poor display. And I do worry we're coming into bad form ahead of the final. As they've got a free kick on the right here, Hibs, straight up the other end from the start of the half. Irving heads clear as far as Doig, back out to Saber on the right, into the box unopposed, he's got time to the byline, into Milan, and his shot's just wide of the far post. Should have been 2 in truth, we survive at 1. To be honest, I can't see a 2-goal turnaround here. I really can't see us winning it, even if we nick an equaliser from somewhere. We're so far off the pace though, but look at this, Irving's put McGrath in, right on cue, he's 1-on-1. And he somehow put it wide. Oh, you can't miss those. Kieran McGrath into the team because he's in form in front of goal. And then discovers that. What a terrible attempt at a finish. So I'm going to bring on club legend Cammy Kerr. He's going to replace Jordan McGee at right wing back. We're going to take off McPake, who's had a shocker, for Alan Forrest. And the straight swap in midfield for Irving and Byrne. It seems whichever one of them starts is guaranteed to play poorly. 25 minutes to go, it's still Hibs who lead, and it looks like a frustrating end to the season. Thank God we'd wrapped up 5th already, because it could have been a while otherwise. Could have been a real dip. And to be fair, the mid-season splits helped us too, because St Johnstone are only a point behind. As Jones gets in on the right again into Cummins, and it's a good block away, a doffing the man who's there. But it's so easy for Jordan Jones down there. Marshall's not even got a terrible match rating. 6.3 is not atrocious. He's been skinned every time we've looked, as Milan's got it in the middle to Porteous. Tries to switch, we just need to nick one really, as Porteous finds it again. Hibs content to just keep possession, they're so patient in their build-up, and they've gone wide to Jones, which means they're going to make a chance here. Back to the right, back into Cummins, and it's in for 2-0. Neither of the defenders get it clear, it's a really poor attempt. And if we're getting beaten like this by Dundee United and Hibs, with respect, the champion Celtic are going to have a field day. The Scottish Cup final coming up on Boxing Day. And as it stands, I'm not particularly optimistic. 10 minutes to go. No real sign of success. And a really drab end to the Scottish Premiership season. We finished 5th on 55 points. We lose 2-0 against Hibernian. We're not happy with the performance. We're not happy with the form. And what a time for it to come around. And there we go, we're in 5th place. I wonder if we're going to get the European announcements now, because with the Scottish Cup final yet to be completed, I'm guessing it will have to wait a bit, and it looks like that's the case. So we've ended our 11-match unbeaten home run, which basically stretches back almost as long as we've been here. Nearly 2 million. Oh, we have! Look, we've got the confirmation. We've got 2 million quid just under for finishing 5th, and the board are delighted that the team has qualified for the Europa Conference through their participation. Considering we look like relegation strugglers, we joined in 9th after Gordon Strachan ran away to Sheffield Wednesday. We look like we're in a really good position. And we have got to bear that in mind as well, don't forget. We came to this job at Dundee, we were offered the opportunity because Gordon Strachan went to Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship. So that bodes the question, if we do well here and we continue to improve, will we get that calibre of club next? I'm not going to look for a job because I'm delighted with how Dundee's going and I want to manage in Europe next year. I didn't expect it in Season 4, but the Scottish Premiership has confirmed it for us. An absolutely fantastic achievement. I haven't got it next to our name yet on the league stage. This is what happened with Dorking last year, and then after the summer we weren't in it. But I'm looking at it now and saying, surely with the Scottish Cup final being us and Celtic, it's absolutely fine. Can we look at the Europa Conference as well, just in case? I just want to make sure there's not a Scottish side in the final that's not in the top 4 of the league. So the Europa League is Bayern v Milan, the Europa Conference Leicester v Real Betis, and the Champions League Benfica in the final against Real Madrid. That's some achievement. Who have they been buying? They haven't got big money, have they? It's only the 3rd season. We've got all the big European leagues loaded, don't forget. Look at the money they've spent. Gabriel Barbosa, Hector Bellerin, Adnan Januzaj, Matt Vienko from PSG. He's a good player, actually, the defender. I don't quite know how they've managed it. I mean, they are selling just as much, but I didn't expect to see that. They spent 150 million the year before after selling 200's worth, and they must have reinvested very well. But we will be back on Boxing Day for Celtic in the Scottish Cup final at Hampden. It's going to be a very tough game, particularly with the form we're in, but it's an occasion we can enjoy. We're in our 3rd season of the head coach, and we're in a major cup final. It's absolutely remarkable. This time last year, we just got our break from Kettering into the Football League and were right at the bottom of League 2. The year before, we'd had 2 sackings and we were trying to rebuild at Slough in the National League South. And 3 years ago, we were with Dover in the National League and trying to get out of there and in the end moving over to Northern Ireland. And here, we're in the Scottish Premiership. It looks like we've qualified for Europe and we've got one of the old firm in the Cup final. What a 3 years it's been. And I'm almost amazed at how well we've done. So if you are looking forward to that and you did enjoy this episode despite the 2 defeats, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. Bangor City will be back tomorrow for Christmas Eve before we have a day off ahead of this final on Boxing Day. As it is the last episode before Christmas from this series, a massive thank you for your incredible support so far this year. I really hope you're looking forward to the festive season. And if you don't celebrate it, I hope you have a good weekend nonetheless. But thank you so much for your support. You can check out the links to all the other playlists and the podcast channel in the eye above if you are bored over the festive season. As I know in many parts of the world, we can't go anywhere at the moment. There's of course been some festive content on the channel this week, so do keep your eyes peeled on that too. And there'll be another one of those on Christmas Day as well. But thank you so much for your incredible support, for watching along as always. And I'll see you next time in this one on Boxing Day, as we face Celtic in the Scottish Cup final.